This episode of The Arena, a Multiplatform Gaming News Podcast post-show, is sponsored by, well, of course, you. If you want to learn more about how you can support the show, go to patreon.com/thearena_podcast. Hey everybody, welcome into the episode 93 post-show. I'm your host, Expat, along with my co-hosts, Burley Burlerman Gaming and Turn-Based Carl. So, Xbox Carl. Xbox/Turn-Based Carl. Got the Xbox State of Decay shirt on, of course. Yeah, so how you guys doing, man? How you guys holding up? Yeah. So we were talking about in the regular episode about publishers not putting games on particular platforms. We were talking about, the Atari 50-year celebration, talking about, all kinds of other cool stuff in the world of video games. How you guys doing, man? How you guys holding up? Good?
Oh, yeah. Let's do it.
Let's do it, man. Yeah, let's do it.
Oh, yeah. The Compound V's kicking in.
What powers did you get, Burley?
Yeah, what powers, man? Yeah, come on, man. Enlighten us.
I don't know yet.
You get? Yeah.
It's a no yet. Oh, what a weak answer.
I don't know yet.
Yeah. All right.
Well, if we got the power, we got to show them off.
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
Okay. So first up in the post show, of course, we got a lot of, every week we get lots of cool, news about video games and everything. And, video games are a lot of fun, but also there are some sad stories that we get in the world of video games. And we had one of those this week. Unfortunately, Bernie Stolar, who helped launch both the PlayStation and Dreamcast, has passed. So I will leave for all of you video viewers the link to the article here. And so I'll read a little bit of this for you. So Bernie Stolar, one of the most important video game executives of the 90s, has passed away at the age of 75. Stolar began working in the video game business in 1980, first founding a coin-op company before moving to Atari, where he did everything from working on their arcade games to their later home console efforts to, of all things, leading development on the Lynx, Atari's infamously enormous handheld device. He then moved to Sony, where he helped found the American division of the company's PlayStation brand, serving as the company's first executive vice president. While at Sony, his biggest achievement was lining up a number of studios and properties for the PlayStation's early library of games, forming relationships that in many cases endure to this day, including Ridge Racer, Crash Bandicoot, and Spyro. And he was also, an influencer as well on the Dreamcast with Sega as well. So what do you guys think? Great career, and unfortunate to hear about his passing. Any comments from you guys? Burley, I'll start with you.
Yeah, it's very sad to see him go, because he did a lot in the industry. Because I remember watching documentaries in the early to mid 2000s of him with what he tried doing with Sega with the Dreamcast, and he was one of those guys that he was fighting with Sega in Japan. Yeah. So him and Kalinske. Yeah, him and Kalinske. They put a lot in them just to fighting with Sega Japan just to get things. They had good ideas. Some of the ideas, I can't remember them off the top of my head. We had some good ideas, but just didn't work. And then they ended their partnership. And then he came into Sony.
Yeah.
And I remember watching the one Sony documentary showing him. He's like, I like this. I think it was Toshindo was the one fighting game.
Mm-hmm.
He saw that. He's like,
Battle Arena Toshindo.
Shindo.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
He saw that and says, okay, we need to get this. He was just going and seeing stuff. He's like, because he wanted a good starting lineup and to have some great franchises on there. And the amount of effort he would sit and go to just find stuff and get it on to the PlayStation.
Yeah.
And start these partnerships.
Well, when he was with Sega, he completely cleaned house with the debacle that was the Saturn. There were like over 300 employees at the time there, and he consolidated it down to about 90. to get rolling on the Dreamcast. So anyway, Carl, your thoughts?
I don't really have much to add. Not too familiar with him.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah. Well, anyway, it's sad news, but he will, of course, obviously be remembered for obviously his time at PlayStation and at Sega. So Okay. So next up, so Burley, you live in Canada, obviously, yes, and obviously there are a lot of video game development studios in Quebec. And obviously Quebec is a French-speaking, generally a French-speaking province. Yeah,
it's bilingual,
right? Bilingual, obviously, but French is
French is a very popular language there.
Mm-hmm.
English is still spoken there. So.
Yeah, but so we had this story, and the link is below. There was this bill, I think it was Bill 96, Burley, I think it was. And basically the gist of this new bill is basically they want to make French the de facto language when it comes to the working environment in Quebec. So you have a lot of people in Quebec that are working for these development companies that are predominantly English speaking, in a sense. The employees coming in, they only speak English. And in this article, what was interesting is one of the developers that came into this particular studio in Quebec, he didn't speak any French. He was willing to learn French, but they told him specifically, you don't have to worry about learning French, But with this Bill 96, basically it's going to turn things around and make it like, well, you need to know French. And a lot of people are seeing this as kind of, trying to exclude those that don't speak French. So, I mean, what are your feelings on this? I'll let you go off on this, Burley, because you're a Canadian and you live close to Quebec. I mean, out in the eastern part of Canada. So, what are your thoughts on all this? And then after that, Carl, you can throw your 10 cents on this as well. But Burley, go ahead, man.
So I've actually been to Quebec a few times. So when I say certain things here, I want people to know I've actually been there. I've been experienced a bit, but this is a bill and Canadians are not exactly happy with. There are people in Quebec that are outspoken against this bill because it's just now you're forcing something. We're supposed to be this free, open kind of country and all this. And now it's speak French or get out. And it's like, it's not very Canadian, but it is very with the Quebec government. A lot of other provinces in Canada have not been happy with Quebec because Quebec has always tried to, if we don't get our way, we're just going to separate and not be part of Canada.
Yeah.
So.
And in the article they were talking about a lot of this is probably going to make a lot of developers leave Quebec and move on to, like, say, Vancouver, where a lot of development is starting to build in, like, the Vancouver area of Canada, in the West. More studios are starting to pop up there. But so.
Oh, they'll move to Vancouver or Toronto because all over the world there is a hiring demand, and it's hard to get the people you want because people have options and people are going to go what's best for them. Now there are some nice areas in Quebec and all that, especially Old Montreal. Old Montreal is very nice to see, but if I now have to go, I have to speak French there. I now have to there's two languages I got to be there for and know. And it's not like you can't just go there and just have a basic understanding of the French language. No, you're going to have to be an expert. over there, a lot of people are just gonna be like, okay, so Quebec, that for Canadian gaming market. I'm not gonna waste my time going there. I'm gonna go to Vancouver, go to Toronto, go to some of the other parts in Canada. So it's gonna hurt, and there's a lot of studios in there. There's a big Ubisoft studio there. You've got a bunch of smaller indie ones. It's gonna kill their market, and I'm very interested to see how some of these studios are going to go, because there's one, Sea of Stars. They're out in Montreal. The studios, Sabotage Studios, I've kickstarted their game Sea of Stars. Now I'm very interested to see how that's going to go, because
the game, I think on Twitter they posted that it was recently delayed, right? Yeah, Sea of Stars.
Yeah. Well, originally it was supposed to be March 2022 for us backers, but they've been upfront and honest with us. If you be either in their Kickstarter or in their Discord, they've been upfront and showing you progress as they're going. And it's like,
right,
they're wanting to take their time. And it's like, fair enough, take your time. I'm not in a rush to play the game. Much as I want it this year, I'd rather just wait till it's out. But like, this whole thing is just, you're now going to kill the gaming market there in Quebec. And that is a huge industry in Quebec. It's not their biggest industry, but it generates a lot of money. So,
what is the biggest industry in Quebec, Burley? What is the biggest industry in Quebec?
Maple syrup.
Okay.
No lie. No lie.
Really? Okay.
I don't know.
I believe you, man. I believe you.
I'm going off what I read years ago, so it may not be true anymore, but like, you had the giant. There was a documentary about the giant maple syrup heist there in Quebec.
Okay.
So, and you hear the numbers, you'll go, oh, holy shit. Because we got the real stuff over here.
Yeah. So, Carl, your feelings on this story?
Well, yeah, with the industry like the video game industry, it can definitely drive business elsewhere, because the industry, people come from all over the place, and English is a very common language. Yeah. And when you have more people doing remote work than ever, I mean, you don't necessarily even need to be there. I don't know how that affects how this is going to work, how strict they're going to be with hiring. But yeah, if you can simply go somewhere else and avoid that, you might just do that. In any industry where that's the case, where there's no reason they need to be in Quebec for that, I mean, they can just go elsewhere. This stuff kind of happens, where a government, a local government or state government makes a rule that drives business out because they're, foolish. They're very stubborn. They're trying to be very conservative on some sort of old values, and they end up doing something like this.
Well, like out here in Japan, it's pretty much nationwide, the sense that you need to have like a functional ability of speaking Japanese, as well as obviously they want English speakers, but you need to be able to speak Japanese to be able to function in the working environment in the company. So
yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's a different case than Canada, because they're
it's different from
a bilingual country, but I don't know the
with
percentage.
This particular law that's been passed,
maybe Burley can attest to the percentage of English speaking versus bilingual versus even French only, which I don't imagine there's a lot of French only speakers in
Canada. There are French only speakers, but it's so few and far between.
Right. Yeah.
That's what it is. And it's just like there's so few of that. Quebec, there's more bilingual in Quebec, but as you go out in the country, it's not as popular as you would want it to think. Like they always say, having French is an asset on so many jobs you'll apply through Canada, but like a lot of us, and I include myself on this, you do the French you need to for your high school and public school. Mm-hmm. And that's it. I barely use any of the French I have that I still know how to speak.
Burley, I've never heard you speak French before.
Yeah. Bonjour.
Je m'appelle Burley. Okay. All right. Okay. So next up, of course, Xbox Studios, of course, and Matt Booty. He's confident that crunch culture has been eliminated. Your guys' thoughts on this? I don't know. I mean, I think there's always going to be some form of crunch culture, no matter what. I mean, these companies want to get these games out to the public, and they're going to put in the extra hours. But yeah, I that it's been that it's been eliminated. It's hard for me to believe. What do you guys think? Carl, I'll start with you on this. And what do you think of this?
Well, I mean, the culture of it, maybe that's accurate, right? Because not that nobody will ever work, some sort of absurd amount of hours.
Yeah.
But the culture of it being an expectation, right? Where like your boss is working 100 hours and like you're like, well, I'm not going to leave the office before my boss leaves the office type situation, right? Those type of things. The industry has changed a lot. And like, I understand in today's version of the video game industry, a lot of these companies now are like large companies, and the expectation isn't the same that like you're this like very vital cog in this design, process that you have to be there to do everything. You have to sacrifice a lot to make sure this product gets out, because if you don't, like, that's it for your company, right? That's not the case for the large companies anymore. Now, there's still indies that are like that, and I'm sure they might have crunch, but
Games,
and they might do that in the aspect of like they know, like, this is what we need to do to make our product happen. It's not going to happen otherwise.
Right.
That was the way it was for something like Halo, right? Like, Halo was, the original Halo had stories of incredible amount of crunch for them, but they wanted to do it because they were passionate about making it happen. Yeah. And now this is a career for a lot of people in a different way. It's like a job that you go to, you have benefits just like everybody else. Like it's possibly a 9-to-5 or something along that lines. You have paid time off and all that, and all the benefits you're going to get of a regular job. It's
all the perks.
It's not what it used to be. Yeah. So, I mean, maybe this is exactly why Redfall and Starfield were delayed, because I could see Bethesda was like, look, we're gonna, in order to get this game out, we're gonna have to do what we used to do, which is crunch. And Microsoft's like, we don't do that anymore. So like, go ahead, delay it. Like, that's fine.
Burley, your thoughts?
Oh, there's still going to be crunch. It just depends. I don't think it'll just be talked about as much soon enough, and it's just going to be like, or they'll just gloss over it. Like, the last couple of weeks we put in, instead of working a 40-hour work week, we did 50, 60, just to get the last bit, just to get the game ready for you guys all.
But Microsoft has been saying this for a while. And now that Bethesda is part of them, it looks like they're bringing that culture to Bethesda. So, if people wonder why, Halo Infinite had to have a significant delay, and even still content didn't make launch, they're not crunching. They've said that they're not crunching. So
Burley's like smirking there because he's thinking of the multiplayer.
No, not multiplayer. Go co-op campaign. They're now in beta for that.
That's what I mean.
It's coming soon, Well, if it's in beta, that means it's coming soon, and that's how that works with the Halo stuff. But.
So I'm just wondering if this is going to be similar when Activision comes aboard as well. I'm sure that type of culture. Apply that culture, as well as a different culture when it comes to corporate relations and employee relations, for that matter. So.
And I applaud the effort, and I'm happy for it, because I don't think people should work more than 40 hours a week. I don't even think people should work 40 hours a week. I think it's a lot of your life to ask, to people to do that. I don't personally think it's good for the psychological health of anyone to work that much.
Yeah, just ask expat. Yeah, he crunches for this show. Yeah.
Crunch.
I put in all this crunch, and I don't get a chance to play video games, you guys. Yeah. Putting this show together and all the other shows together for the Patreon and for the YouTube and everything else. It's like I hardly get like 2 hours a week to play video games. No, I'm just kidding. I play more than that, but I mean, I do crunch for this, but that's because I want to. So I choose to. So
right. I mean, you have hobbies you want to enjoy. Yeah, you want to enjoy your life, But then you also have family. You want to spend time with family. Yeah. And I don't want anybody out there to have to not spend time with their family because they're trying to get a video game out for me to play.
Yeah.
No, I don't. Don't do that. Take your time.
That's right. Yeah. And not only just the video game industry, for any industry for that matter. Right. That's
very true.
All right. So that's going to do it for the post show. So I've been your host, Expat, along with my co-hosts, Burley of Burleyman Gaming and Turn-Based Carl. We hope to catch you in the next episode of the post show. So have a great week, everyone. And all of you Americans, have a great 4th of July. Take care and stay safe. So take care, everyone. Peace out.